Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here, and I am with Linda Buchanan, a power user mortgage coach. What's up, Linda?
Hey Dave, how are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, and thanks for making time to share some ideas and strategies with the community. So Linda, you've been using Mortgage Coach a long time.
Yep.
If you could let folks know what market you're in, a little bit about your production and your team, and then let's get into
Right.
some ideas and strategies with realtors.
Right. Well, we're down here in Southern California and Manhattan Beach, so we've got a great day at the beach today. So our market, it's really quite mixed. We've got very, very high end in this area and a lot of first-time buyers in some of the surrounding areas. One of the things that I did is I intentionally drifted from that super high end and started working with more of the first-time buyers. That's where the activity is. And that's been really helpful, focusing on some agents that are like me with teams. I've got a team of 4. I have a processor, a loan coordinator, and another loan officer, also my husband on the team. Production last year was about 49 million, 75 units, and this year I've got a high stretch, 75 million, about 115 families looking to help.
Oh, that's awesome. And obviously, so pretty high end. I mean, you're delivering great service and value to people.
Yes, it's
Uh,
important.
so I mean, you and I could talk for hours. You know, you've been a power user for a long time, so I've known you as a mortgage coach user.
Hmm.
But let's talk about realtors. How are you using Mortgage Coach to, add more value, to create more differentiation?
Right.
How does Mortgage Coach fit into your realtor sales process?
Well, I really have focused over the past, oh gosh, 3, 4 years, especially since the mobile app came out. Yes, thank you, Dave. When I'm going to do a presentation to a realtor or to a group of realtors and teams, I have my assistant in advance of my meeting send them the app with a scenario, so that when I'm there and I'm pulling out my mobile phone and I say, you guys, look at it, download it, and then they're walking through it. And it's a pretty big wow. Really important for me because it was your suggestion to honor the agent first, so that the buyer is looking at that when they're, reviewing this.
So I want to make sure everybody caught a couple ideas. So one, you're prepping the agent before your realtor meetings. Your assistant is forwarding them a strategy, so it's kind of got
Hmm.
relevance. That's giving them kind of a peak of value and a strategy. By the way, what percentage of them actually click on that link and get that value before you show up? And what percentage of the time are they're like, oh, I didn't have time to do that yet. But, what's the ratio there?
Well, I time it pretty closely. So I time it so I make them open it. So if my meeting's at 9, I have her send it at like 9:05. Because when I get to that part of my presentation and some of the benefits for them, they have it in front of them and I'm walking them through it.
Okay, so boom. So everybody catch that. And by the way, if you don't have an assistant and they can do it literally, at that time, you could do that. Have it
Oh
ready to
yeah,
go,
easily.
and you could do that with you have an assistant. And then I do want to make sure everybody caught something you said. You said I honor the realtor. First of all, if you didn't know what she was referring to, she's saying that when she gets a referral from a buyer and she provides that family the total cost analysis, she's mentioning the realtor in her video. Some people may not have realized
Right.
what you meant when you said that.
Yeah.
Another way that you're adding value to agents, in addition to using it as a tool in your meeting, you're using it with every referral that they give you.
Right.
They're CC'd on the referral, the prequal,
Yep.
and they've been mentioned in the video, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that's good.
And the agents actually, I just got off the phone this morning with an agent and he says, have you sent that over to the buyer yet? I'm probably on my 5th analysis for her, and I wanted to shout out that I finally learned how to use the copy feature.
Wait a minute.
Because I was redoing them over and over. And about a year ago, I said, Dave, how do I do this?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
how long does it take you to create a total cost analysis now?
probably about 10 minutes, if that.
Okay.
And Caliber is a huge supporter, so they provide us with some tools, and the closing cost estimate, I think, is where I was taking the most time to make sure I was as accurate as I could be. So now that Caliber has, partnered with an enterprise account, it's made it a lot easier with the templates.
Yeah, the templates and the way they've integrated it in your LOS is nice. So I'm really happy for that. And if you're on this call, think of it as workflow. We have a lot of mortgage coach loan officers, always should be less than 10, but depending on your tools, 5 minutes is the goal. And if you're not there, let us know. We'll help you with workflow, because you should be able to create a total cost analysis absolutely in less than 10, but even less than 5 minutes.
Right.
If you're leveraging the optimal workflow. And I've done other videos on workflow, so check those out too. So well, first of all, before we get to other realtor ideas, what kind of feedback are the agents giving you when you're showing them strategies and stories on their mobile device? How are they responding to that?
They like it. The big one is it shows them. A lot of my clients are first-time buyers, and those are the ones that I really want to impress upon. And what I use probably 80% of the time is rent versus buy, and it is huge. I'm that tax savings and what they're gaining. I talked somebody off a ledge the other day that was worried about a $5,000 increase in the purchase price. And I walked through it with him. I showed him the equity that he would gain versus, renting, and kind of what the picture would look like. And within 5 years, within 10 years. And, midstream, I just got on the app and I changed a couple of numbers to show him some reinvestment strategies, pop another $100 a month into it, and they could really afford it. He was just too nervous to go that high. So that really opened his eyes. The agent was ecstatic because he moved forward on it.
Right. So everybody, I hope you connected the dots. She's not only providing pre-qual, doing loans and keeping promises, she's helping the family make a confident and effective decision, which in realtor terms, it's called sense of urgency. Let's face it,
right.
A lot of realtors don't either want to work with first-time buyers, or they just, when you as a lender can help create urgency and clarity for the family around a decision like that, that's powerful. And by the way, if you're not a mortgage coach user, they can't do that. They don't have the rent versus own. They don't have the move-up analysis. So as a mortgage coach, you have I want to call it a superpower, but a competitive advantage in the type of value that you can bring to buyers. So, Linda, great job. It sounds like you're not only educating your realtors on how you're doing that. By the way, how often are you putting a video on the total cost analysis so that, it's
all the time?
Okay, so
all the time. And when I redo it, I'm talking them through the redo, what I've done.
Love that. And then what about mobile app? Have you edited the Mortgage Coach on the app yet?
Yes.
Have you? Good.
Yes,
Good.
That was phenomenal. Good job.
Hey, by the way, not me. We have an amazing team that makes the magic. And Joe Patur, the leader of our product,
right?
And Jacob, and it's not me. I mean, amazing developers, amazing product team that makes all that magic happen.
So, I fear technology, and my whole team just feels that I have this force field, electronic force field around me. So the other day I had a call from an agent. He's a brand new agent that has just started working with us. And he said, hey, can you talk this buyer through, the different analysis? And I was in my driveway pulling out, and I said, let me try the mobile app. And I just sat there going, bing, 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 change the dollar amount, driving through, out the driveway, video, send. It was awesome.
Right on.
Awesome.
Well, hey, you are a modern mortgage professional. Let's face it, the modern mortgage professional that could do the bing, bing, and boom, has a competitive advantage in today's market.
Right.
Everybody who's watching this, I don't care how good your keyboard skills are. I don't care how much you like technology. I don't care whether you're a millennial, you're Gen X, whatever box you fit in, you could do this. Again, for someone who doesn't have good keyboard skills and you don't pick up technology well, it takes more time to learn. Right. But, I interview loan officers all the time that say, oh, I'm not big with technology. but they love Mortgage Coach because it really does change the game for you. So any last words of wisdom for the Mortgage Coach community, for all the loan officers that are watching this that either aren't giving every family a total cost analysis or they're not explaining it to their agents? Any last words of wisdom?
I think you really owe it to yourself, especially in today's world, in our market. It's tough out there because, here in this area, we are very limited on inventory, lots of buyers. I've got 52 pre-quals right now, people out looking. So I have to help my agents, just a step above, and I have to be a step above my competition. So spending the time to learn this, and I've gone around to all the loan officers here in this office. I'm going to actually do a little training for them because I've been using this for 10 years. So I really have a hang of it, but I think it's just a phenomenal tool. And I really encourage, all of you loan officers, anybody can call me, personally over here, if they want any tips on what I do and how I've done it. But it's a fabulous program. So thank you.
Well, thank you for being a great leader and taking time for this call, but also just giving back to other loan officers. So if you're watching this and you got value from it and you liked it, like it. You're watching this from YouTube, give us a like, and do share it. If you're a manager, share it with your team. If you're not a manager, share it with your mortgage friends that you want to see more successful. Be more successful. Hey, Linda, call me anytime you get ideas.
Thank you.
Strategies. Let's do another call like this before the year's out.
Appreciate it.
So if you think of another idea, let's rock it out. Let's do something.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.